It's not sexy. No one fucking cares. Oh, I feel like I've opened a can of worms.
Seriously.
And it feels daft, doesn't it?
This is what we need to do. Can we talk? Not dog business. We are talking dog business. Can we talk about passive income?
Passive income.
The good old, everyone likes a bit of passive
income?
Everyone likes a bit of passive income.
Yes.
Why do they like passive income? What's attractive about passive income?
I feel like I'm going to sweep on past the obvious here because I genuinely don't think that that's the real reason that somebody might want it, which sounds a bit weird.
What's the reason?
Well, I suppose passive income, the first thing that comes to mind is I haven't got to do anything.
Doing nothing.
And money just comes to me.
Oh, can you imagine?
But I don't think actually that's what people, not all people, necessarily want. So it's a hard one, isn't it? Because I think it depends on how you look at that passive income. And actually, like, where does that fit in your strategy bit?
I don't think it does fit in anyone's strategy. I think it just sounds like a great deal.
Yeah. But this is where I struggle with it for this industry because how we talk about this a lot in that people love, ourselves included, the CPD side of it. Like, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice learning it because it's something you're passionate about. You want to enjoy it. You want to keep absorbing more and more and more. So if money's the driver, and this is this contradictory thing, isn't it? Because we say we're in it for the dogs and to help people, and I want to give all my time away for free and make everything accessible and do all of that stuff. Then on the flip side, we suddenly go, fuck all that off because I can do passive income and I ain't got to do anything.
Yeah.
So there's a big contradictory cliff here. Contradictory cliff? A contradictory chasm. Chasm?
Chasm. That's an underrated word, isn't it?
I like it.
I've never ever said the word chasm, ever. Wow.
You know what? A tangent, always, obviously. You wouldn't have seen it. You've probably heard of it. Inside Out, you know, the kids' movie where all the emotions in your head.
Yeah, you've told me about
happening.
it before.
On number 2, I can't remember what it's called now. It's going to be a pointless thing. There is I can't do it. There's a sarcastic bit and there's, you know, when you get like those, I can only describe it as like, maybe it is a chasm, like a tunnel bit in between like cliffs and stuff.
Okay.
There's like a sarcastic canyon bit, but it's not. It may be a chasm. That's what I was thinking when I said it. So,
okay, right. I'm glad you went round the houses to explain that.
yeah, sorry. Other people will get it. It's fine. It's fine. But no, I feel like that you're in that.
It's a juxtaposition.
It is a juxtaposition.
We
managed to get it in.
talking about the word juxtaposition before we came on. We shoehorned it in.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost that stuff sits there and then that is neither here nor there because on the one hand, we're getting very irate about, but what about all these people? Don't you feel guilty for charging money and rah, 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 rah? And then, oh, wait, hold on. I'm just going to hop across the other side and then go, can I just have some passive income, please?
Here's the thing. Go and do it yourself. I'll just sit here and reap the cash.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, is that really the reality?
It just doesn't matter.
Okay, we've written a book.
We have.
You could, I mean, shameless plug. You could say that's passive income. Is it?
Wow. Not really.
I would say it isn't.
Want a couple of pennies a month?
Well, yeah, there is that. What's about £2.50 a book? I don't know if it's even that.
No,
is
it's
it?
not even that.
It's not. But also, you have to keep talking about it. You have to keep...
You have to actually work.
Showing
work
that it's there. People are going to forget it exists.
Yeah. It's
harder work. I actually feel like passive income or semi-passive income, however you want to look at it, is harder work than just getting out there and doing the thing.
You know what? Let's talk about the differences then, because I'm not 100% certain if there is an awareness of purely passive and semi-passive.
No, probably not.
So when you say semi-passive, Explain.
Well, there's some work to be done. Like there's some involvement, there's some showing up. There is some, might be access to you, might be live delivery. But it's not just you putting a thing out and expecting it to sell. Well, there is and there isn't. I've realised I've said that and it's a bit contradictory.
It's all contradictory.
It is all contradictory. It involves you involved in it in some way, shape or form. Passive, purely passive, is having an asset, I suppose. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
That you just can go.
Do you know what, when you really
buy,
dig into it, a lot of it is
it's a
kind
blurry
of semi,
line.
really, isn't it?
It's a blur line.
Depends on
isn't it?
how it's been set up.
I don't think there's any passive, fully passive. Is there?
Well, no, because arguably, even in like, let's say like our pod classes membership, we've still got to record them.
No, but we've still got to talk about it and sell it.
Well, yeah.
And build an audience to buy it. Mm-hmm. Like it's not going to just go fly off the shelves itself, which is what a lot of people think is going to happen, I think.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, like you say, the book could technically be a form of passive if the audience was bigger.
Yeah, but I still think you need to talk about it. You can't just forget it exists and hope.
But I think a physical
buy it.
product, you've got a chance that someone could potentially just come across it.
Yeah.
It's a small
or someone
chance,
recommends
but
it.
Yeah,
It's like word of mouth. But
so you haven't really got to do anything on that in some respect. Depending, again, it comes back down to the strategy and how you're using these assets. But yeah, so I think, I feel like I've opened a can of worms in my head now.
A chasm.
A cataclysmic chasm. Oh my God, that's a lot of C's.
Where did that come from? Chuckling Ryan in the background. He's loving our choice of vocabulary today.
It's good. It's on point.
On point for what?
I don't know. It's just on point. Good use of vocab.
Okay.
No, I have sent myself into a spin because I never really looked at it in that way of that complete polarizing. I want to be so accessible to everyone. I want to be giving them the best possible version. And then I'm striving for passive income so I don't have to do it as much.
Kicking back my heels.
Back.
Letting the money roll in.
It just really doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
And I think that there is I do feel like there's an element of naivety on
huge amount.
On passive.
I didn't realise so many people were striving for passive income or semi-passive income before we started CBA. Did you? I honestly hadn't realised till we started doing those one-to-one coaching calls.
I'm going to say yes and no, but I was surprised the extent within the dog industry.
Yeah. And do you know why it's there? I think let's use the example of a company like Socks.
Yeah.
Epic, awesome, like next level, like courses and learning and information. Dog trainers want to do that. And they're not there yet to be able to deliver that kind of, there's a lot gone into that organisation.
And again, I think it's easily overlooked on B2B versus B2C.
Yeah.
B2C courses.
Just clarify what you mean when you say that.
Sorry. Business to customer versus business to business. So Stocks is a B2B because it's businesses selling to other businesses.
Yeah. But like us.
We're B2B. Yeah. In the dog training business, we're B2C because you're selling to a customer, like a consumer of it. And I think there is more evidence that B2B courses, if you've got your ideal client right and if you've got a good strategy behind it, has a higher potential to work than B2C. That's not to say B2C can't work at all, by the way. Mm-hmm. That is to say it's a completely different market. So you really have to. Now I'm saying it. Technically, it's not technically doing anything different. I think B2B, though, you've got that. There's a stronger desire, I suppose, for you can potentially see a monetary outcome back off of it.
Yeah, there's more of an in, would you say? There's more of a...
like you're tapping into the fact that you typically, entrepreneurs in general, like you typically want more knowledge. You like being against the grain. You like learning something new. Whereas on a consumer level,
they need a problem solving.
It's much of a muchness, and I need a problem solving right now. There's still an element of both in both camps, but yeah, I think on the B2C side, you still need a large audience or a very, very engaged audience.
A very engaged audience.
So it can be small, but it needs to be highly engaged. Because what are the latest conversion stats? It's still like 1% for
something ridiculously low.
a highly engaged audience.
A reactivity section, an agility section. Here you go. Here's everything I know. I'll film it. You have it. There you go. Problem solved. Is that really what an owner needs?
Well,
are they going to do the work?
Is an owner looking for that?
Well, A, is an owner looking for that? B, is it going to see them through? Like, to me, it has no map.
I need to get the stat. I genuinely can't remember the stats. They're still incredibly low, even when somebody has purchased a course. In fact, we can attest to this. Even on Business Basics, like we can see who's watched what and how much, like percentage-wise, somebody's completed.
Yeah.
There are people that have finished that course twice. They've stayed in it for like a few rounds. And like what, 20% of the videos have been watched?
Yeah.
So they've not even consumed all the information within that program. And it feels daft, doesn't it? It's like, what? Why? Why would you do that? However, again, I only have to look at myself. How many courses are sat in the the ether of my course internet that I haven't finished or I haven't looked at? Or
Same.
Yeah, we've invested the money. So what was the outcome?
Yeah.
Why?
We've done it recently with someone.
Wow, yeah.
And we have had a lot going on, and the aim is to get back into it. But it's a significant amount of money that we haven't really even touched. Like, so if one of them looked at our percentage, they'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is really low. They must hate it, or they must not value it, or they must think it's awful. And we don't. We just literally have had our mind on lots of other things. And
the daft
got
thing
there
is, because that has got a 12-month expiry down as well, I'd probably buy it again.
Yeah, to get access
To do it again. I need to do it still because I want it. I just haven't got around to doing it.
Yeah.
So it's that mindfulness that even if and when somebody buys, it's still a really low percentage then of those who've bought. So now you've only got your 1% conversion. Then that filters down again into you're in a new conversion rate, which is still low for people that actually complete it. I feel like it's a bit high. Don't quote me on this, but I feel like it's between that 20 and 30%. But again, considering they've bought it, you'd think it'd be 100%. But it's not. So it's still low again. So it's being mindful that how much work are you putting into then selling that? And again, I think this is that mindset of, well, if people just happen to come across my website and I've got something on there for 10 quid, then they'll buy it because it's 10 quid. And I'm like, well, that's a money mindset thing. Because if they don't see value in it, then £10 is still a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Even if that was £3. I've seen stuff where I'm like, £3, I don't want to spend £3. Like, I don't see the value in it. Even though it's only £3. And I think that it's that mindset that just because it's a low number, that people are happy to just piss it away basically and give it, like, chance it.
Yeah. But if we're truly wanting to help people, the question really should be, is that going to fix in inverted commas, because we all know it's not ever really fixed, but is that going to solve their problem? And do they actually need us? Do they need more access to us, whether that's an online version of us or whether that's an in-person version of us? Is it that they really need? Is it community they really need? Is it other people going through the same thing? Is it enough for them to just go, the onus is all on you, the accountability is all on you, I'm just going to, like, the transaction's completed now, I have no other input. And that is what I did when I created an online course over lockdown. Had I known then what I know now, it would have been delivered very differently. But I didn't. I just thought people can't get access to like physical trainers in real life, so they're going to buy that thing. I didn't talk about it enough. B, I didn't have the audience for it, and C, like it wasn't a great product, let's face it. It wasn't enough. It was a good core, but it needed to be bulked out with a lot more stuff. People didn't see the value. It was 45 quid or something, 40 quid, I can't remember. And there was a lot of hours of videos in that. But then, do you know what I did? They're all stupid. They're not buying it. I've got this amazing thing and no one's coming. Did the blame game on the clients. Not their fucking problem. It's my problem. I'm to blame. And this is the thing, right? Like, I was fortunate in that I could do it because I had the time in lockdown. Like, we're all forced to not be able to work. Well, not all of us, but some of us. There are people that spend so long creating these things for no one to buy, for there to be no proof of concept. It's not a valid product yet.
You know what? It's the first thing I would always say to everyone is sell it before you make it.
Do some market research, do polls, ask questions. What do people actually want?
Actually, I'm going to caveat that. When you're doing your market research, do not ask somebody, would you buy this thing that I'm about to put out?
Yeah.
Why do we not ask that stupid question?
Why do we ask that stupid question?
What answers are you expecting to get?
Nothing's going to be helpful, is it?
No.
When you ask that.
So if I ask, would you buy this thing?
Depends what it is.
Well, yeah, maybe. And actually, if somebody says yes, we're like, okay. And then we go, how much would you be willing to pay for it? I don't know.
10p.
But again, it's like, well, yeah, like somebody could genuinely go, oh, well, I don't know, like 10p. And then others could go, it sounds like it could be like a £500 product. I don't know. Like I need a bit more. Would you pay £250 for this? And then people go, no, because I can get that there and that there and that there. But you're not asking your audience.
No.
You're asking the wrong questions. Because they're very laced, aren't they? It's like,
yeah, they're leading in a way, but also they don't know enough about it. The problem isn't being tapped into. Like, what do you actually need help with? What are you struggling with? What do you need fixing? Mm-hmm. Would you how would you learn best? How do you absorb the information? Like, all those questions are good, open
as well. Like,
you know,
wait lists are good as well.
Yeah.
And again, doing your SWOT, doing your market research. Like what's out there? What are people looking for? What are the pain points? Like, speak to people, but in a genuine, like, what can I put in this offering?
Like, this is just, again, it's a bit of a tangent here, but I think, you know, when we put adverts, and when I say adverts, I don't mean paid adverts, but these local Facebook groups where you can put an advert in on a Sunday, let's say, that's the mindset around those kind of groups. I put an advert in. The best use of those groups, they're full of dog owners. Regardless, if they are dog owner groups or they're local community, town, village groups, there's going to be a shit ton of dog owners in there. Ask questions in those groups. Find out what people want and need. Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm doing a bit of market research. Mm-hmm. Have you got a dog? If you have, what are you struggling with? Yeah. What do you need?
Yeah, create like a little survey
How can I help?
Platform or Microsoft Forms or something.
Poll.
And just whiz it out. Like, you'll easily get
survey
information. But yeah, don't ask stupid questions like, what would you pay?
Ask questions where it's going to give you good information for you to base a bit of validation, but it's to build a picture as to whether that thing is a concept that you could potentially see through, or whether you just bin it off and go, like, actually, nobody's actually saying they need this because they haven't got that problem. Like, we know reactivity is a big issue nowadays, like, in a general sense. We think it is. Is it as big as we actually think? Is it causing people the pain that we think it is? Like, we don't like a dog that barks and lunges, but there's so many people that live with it. And maybe
it's easier to live with it than it is to change it.
It is. It is. They know there's a hell of a lot of work involved in changing it. And actually, maybe we just change our lifestyle so we don't walk in the park at 5 p.m. when everyone else is. Or we don't take them on holiday and we can deal with that. They go in a kennel. Like maybe that's what someone would rather do. But until you ask the question, how do you know? So they're great ideas. And I don't knock anyone for being excited about doing something and going like, this is what we need to do. But is it what you really want to do, or is it what you're seeing in the market? Like, are you seeing other people doing it? Are you looking at these organisations that are way out of your league, but you think you can create the same kind of thing? And also, I want to come back to that because the perfection game, that's another thing, isn't it? Because we're putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. I want to do this. I want to create that. I want to do it, but I haven't got the backdrop. I'm struggling with the time. It's not going to look flashy enough. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. And it's like, seriously, like, again, come back to your market research. We don't even know if it's needed. Like, don't waste your time doing all that stuff. It's never going to be as good as come back to socks or AD. Like, it's not going to be that good unless you invest a shit ton of money.
You build up to it.
Yeah,
like, take that messy action and just get there. But yeah, it's an interesting concept because I do wholeheartedly believe that every business should have an element of
I agree.
some passivity in it. However, if you're going in from scratch, wanting to build that passive side of it, the work involved isn't going to feel passive because you've got to build and nurture your audience. You've then got to sell it. You've then got to decide what type of selling do you want to do? Do you want to do like a launch type sale, or do you want to do evergreen? The launch being,
you can buy it all the time.
The launch being actually there's a lot of work to ramp up to it. So you've got to you build up the anticipation, you build up the excitement.
It's a lot of time,
you
energy.
have launch sequence on emails. You need to be speaking to people, like regardless, like you have to be speaking to people all the time to sell your products and services. Doesn't matter if it's passive or not. Like email sequence, social media content sequence, like any ads that you're going to do, if anything, all of
Target
that
the right
launch
people.
period. Yeah. What bonuses are you going to put on for people? Like, how are you going to incentivize people to buy? When are you launching it? What's the dates? What's the time frame? What price point are you going to do it at?
Do you even know the date you're going to launch it? Or are you stabbing around in the dark and going like, oh, I'll try this for a bit and see how it goes?
I'll just put it out there. But that's like a launch sequence. And then you go, right, as of this date, it's done. And everybody goes in and buys it. And again, are you going to deliver it like that hybrid style where you're showing up and delivering some aspects with some pre-record stuff? Or is it purely a pre-record, you don't do any FaceTime stuff and it's all in the background? That is a very good model. It's exhausting, but it's a very good model and it does work. On the flip side, you've got your evergreen one, which you can buy at any point. The downside to that is there's no urgency to buy. So this is where you need a big audience again to make the evergreen side work. Because ideally, for that to be generating decent passive income, you want people to be buying it in the background. But if they don't know about it because it's not marketed well enough and the audience is low, because remember the conversion rates again, then it's not going to work as well as a launch bit. And this is where these different strategies come into play. So I think there's a bit of, do I stick with naivety?
Yeah,
or maybe it's just like lack of knowledge and naivety again of just how passive works. Because I do think from the outside looking in,
sounds attractive.
You can see it, can't you? Going like, oh, well, if I just, and I can see this a lot with dog trainers as well. Going like, I'm saying the same thing over and 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 over again. So if I just pre-record that and stick it in a webinar or a mini course or whatever it is, then I'll just send them there. And they can just pay 10 quid or 5 quid or 2 quid or something for that. And I'm making money in the background without having to do all those timely calls.
That's a really good point, that repetitive thing, because I felt like that before. Do you know when you get to that point where you've gone, I say this every single time I see a new client. Like you have a core, it depends on the problem, it depends on the owners, you adapt things bespoke to the person and the dog, don't you? But there are certain elements you're going to get through. There's foundational parts of every.
90% is all.
It's the same, isn't it? And you do get a bit like, oh my God, I've said that again and again. I can see where that sort of thought process comes in. I can absolutely sympathise with that.
Yep.
But then we do have to look at like, is that the right way that someone needs to consume it? Or could you add value to your one-to-one service, say, and have that as an additional resource? So instead of you having to go through it from scratch, maybe you just talk about the outline bit of it and go, I've actually got a really good video, so I'll put it in your WhatsApp chat and you can watch that. And then next time we meet, we can go through it then. Maybe that's another way of doing it if you do get
I think the
saying
whole
the same thing.
model just needs to be really thought through. And again, it comes back to strategy. It comes down to what exactly are you hoping to achieve? And looking at the marketplace, so gamification is a big thing that's in this year alongside your personal brand. And gamification is essentially getting people to consume that information, but in a way that's fun, i.e. a quiz. Or you can actually create some just like little games. So you can see this gamification thing playing out in real life all the time. Anyway, it's like Darren and I went to, I don't know if it's a franchise. I think it's like Lane 7.
I think it is a franchise.
We just did games all night. But it was like this weird interactive, I called it a playground. It was like a little mat and you were running up and down it, and it was hilarious and it was fun. But I remember every bit about that because it was enjoyable and it was a game. So can you imagine if, again, I'm a dog owner, I'm thinking about working with you. Maybe I haven't got the investment to do one-to-one training. Maybe I need it quick and I want it now. Maybe I'm quite happy to consume online. And now you're going to sit me in front of like an hour's webinar and I'm going to be talked at about all the preventative stuff instead of just getting to the point.
Yeah. What's this going to solve for me?
So
Why do I need to do it?
Switched off. So, and again, this comes back to money mindset, which we bring it back to all the time. It doesn't matter if that webinar is next level epic and it's like level 6 knowledge and it's the best of everything that you've got. And you know full well that if that person implemented the stuff that's in that webinar, they're going to have zero issues with their dog, or they're going to go a long way towards sorting it. Problem is, are they even going to watch it? Is somebody going to realistically want to download that? Even if you promised them that it will stop everything. As soon as they hit play and it's over 3 minutes long, think about your own attention span now. I read something the other day, like, what is it? If something doesn't grasp your attention, I think it's getting short, like in 1 second, 1 or 2 seconds now, it's done.
Yeah, might be even less. And that's the thing, right? So if you're doing these little training resource videos, keep them really mega short. Again, we've just done an episode talking about hitting 6 figures and beyond, and like the companies that have done really well at doing that and their awareness and everything. We were talking about absolute dogs. Game based keeps people's interest. Short keeps people's interest. That's what hooked people in then. Mm-hmm. And we have tried to do the game based thing. A lot of people off the back of AD started implementing game based stuff into the training. Maybe there was a lack of strategy around what it is we're actually teaching them, the reasons why we're teaching it. But there's a lot to be said for that, keeping that engagement. Mm-hmm. Because if it looks a chore and you just click onto it and it is an hour long, your mindset initially just goes, oh my God, I've got to pick the kids up. I've got to do the dinner. Yeah, I've got to sort the dogs. I've got to walk the dogs. I haven't got time to do it. Put it off. Mm-hmm. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Mm-hmm. We can do that.
It doesn't even matter the price point. It doesn't matter that it's £5, £10.
But I think we would think to warrant like a decent price point, each video has to be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But actually, it's probably going to switch somebody off. And I'm not saying this is everybody, but these are the things to consider. When you're creating this thing, take yourself out. It's so hard to take yourself out.
It is hard. And I think this is where I'm going to go back to my chasm. Because it depends on where... It depends on where my brain's gone. Am I in, I want to make some money in the background because I'm knackered and I don't want to go out anymore? Or actually, am I on the side that I'm going, I want to make everything accessible to everyone? I just realised I'm hopping from either side of the mic.
You are
and I'm
literally
like,
moving.
I know. Like Ryan's going to moan at me that I'm not speaking directly into the mic. He is. He's nodding at me. Yeah. I will sit still. So if our brains don't really know where we're coming at it from, then what are you creating?
A spaghetti junction right from the outset.
Junction, yeah. Like I've blown my brain today with that realization that we're saying this in one breath and then we're doing the exact opposite. And this is where I see nobody moving forward in their business, not because there is no desire to do so, but because we're in I'm even going to say we're comfortable in the uncomfortable, which doesn't make sense because, hold on, let me see it through. We're comfortable in the uncomfortableness of being a dog trainer and not earning any money, but we understand that space. You know what I'm getting at? That makes sense.
I know what you mean. I don't know about you lot listening, but I understood but yeah, so
it's not about being comfortable in the uncomfortable in that you're moving forward something, but actually
paralysis.
We're already uncomfortable, but because we're so used to being in that space and we're surrounded with everybody telling us that it's hard and clients are shit and this is how much you can charge and how dare you charge anymore and all that stuff. It's hard being in that space, but you're so used to it. You're comfortable in that space. You know it inside out. So to actually move away from that.
It's really hard, isn't it? But again, we keep saying this and it always comes back down to what is it you want to achieve?
Yeah.
Who do you want to help? How do you see that you're going to make a difference in this dog industry? Yeah. What do you want to be known for? Yeah. If you died tomorrow, what do you want people to think of you? Like what are they going to remember you as? Yeah. It all comes back down to that. And I think start with that gives you a lot of those answers.
Yeah. I think if you're struggling with that question as well, I think you'll naturally fall into one of maybe two camps on that. You're either going to know exactly who you are and what you want to achieve and your passion, and you can see it through the lens of business and how that's going to help. Or you're not going to have a clue at all because you've not spent enough time doing this work and understanding all of that. And you might generally be, I just actually like helping loads of different things. I've not got one clear thing. Then detach yourself from it and look at it from a business point of view. So just and it's really hard, isn't it? Because you just go, okay, so what do you want the business to be known for then? Because guess what? The business can change. Like you could start it off and go, do you know what? I just want to work with busy professionals. And that's my target audience. And then I can keep the training relatively generic because I'm just working with busy professionals. I don't care what dogs I get. I'm quite happy with puppies, older dogs. Like give me the whole lot. I really don't care. Yeah. But my niche is busy professionals. So at least that's something. Yeah. And then we go, ooh, actually, I'm naturally getting all the poodly-doos off the back of these busy professionals. So I'll niche down into a little poodly-doo.
A poodly-doo. Yeah.
They've all got poodly-doos, haven't they?
And I just want to add to this. If you're listening to this and you're feeling stuck in I'd love to be able to pivot. I'd love to be able to do that. I'd love to be able to change. But how can I do that when I've got known for this thing, right? No, unless you really, really, really work hard at it every single day, show up consistently and do all the stuff we're basically telling you to do, which I think a lot of people listening to this are not going to have done. You're not going to be remembered. I can categorically say I have changed business names 1, 2, 3, now maybe 4 times. No one fucking cares. Nobody goes, oh, but she used to be Vicky's Pet Services. Hold on a minute. Now she's Canine Connections. Hold on a minute. Now she's that Canine. She was, Puppy School Redditch is how I started in the very first place. It's okay. You can make those. I don't even want to say mistakes because I evolved. Like each time I changed the name of the business, there was a good reason for it. Yeah. Because I then dropped so Puppy School Redditch, I only did puppies. Then I made the mistake of going like all in with everything. And I thought, I can't be called that anymore because that's not going to work. So I changed it to Vicky's Pet Services. I did dog walking. Then I dropped dog walking and pet visiting. And I was like, I can't call it Vicky's Pet Services anymore. Never really thought this through properly, did I? And then it was Canine Connections, and I sat well with that. And then we merged and it was that Canine Co. But it's still us. It's still me. It's still you. We're still the same people. We've got the same values. We've got the same principles. No one really cares.
No.
And if we changed only working with puppies again, I could change that tomorrow and no one's going to give a shit. So please don't listen to this and go like, oh, it all sounds well and good, but I can't do it. You can do it. I promise you can do it.
It's all the attachment stuff you have.
It's us. It's us that are the problem with our own selves a lot of the time.
Again, like even if you're at or wanting to really grow and scale and have that bigger audience, I hate this phrase. I'm using it a million times a day, I swear. It's a reminder that the audience needs to be so big for you to be really well known for one thing. Like, even though CBA is a global business with like really decent numbers of podcast downloads and it's doing well, and we achieved our goals of like surpassing VAT, surpassing 100, 120, 130k turnover in those 10, 11 months. It's all really good stuff. The audience on the grand scheme of things is still very, very small. We know we have a long way to go. And as much as I think it would make a dent to some people's lives, I would say less than 100 people globally would be affected if CBA suddenly didn't exist as of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is painful because we have all the stuff
really
out there.
painful to actually. I'm like saying, going, oh.
But no, like I say, nobody would care. A very small number would care.
They're not going to be affected how we think they're going to be affected.
No.
Let's just
No,
put it
they're
like
not going to
that.
be. But they would be affected in that they'd be aware of it.
Yeah.
There would be an awareness that CBA has suddenly like closed the doors tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not happening, by the way. But on the training bit, on the dog training business, which was a very well established business for 10 and 14 years individually, close those doors down, I reckon 2 people, 3 people maybe would have gone, oh,
Yeah.
you're not doing it anymore. And that's the reality.
But I also know that if we wanted to ramp that business back up within a month,
Oh God, yeah.
we'd be everywhere and people would be, oh, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
But
But that's down to the strategy. That's down to the skill set. That's knowing how to do it. But it is that fucking reminder word again that you need mass numbers to be really memorable. And it sounds awful, doesn't it? It's
No,
like we
but
pour our heart and soul into all of these businesses and we do everything. But
we're not as important as we think we are.
And this is where that detachment bit has to come in. It's like run the business like a business so it can operate, it can turn over money, you can help people, and you are detached enough from it that you still get a life, you still get an income, you still get to absorb and help as many people as possible through the business, not through you burning out and not through you wearing all the hats and not through you growing unintentionally. Don't like people that grow unintentionally. If you're already there, brilliant, because you'll now be listening to this and thinking, shit, yeah, now I need to do something because now there's an intention, which is always a good thing.
yeah,
But
it may have made you realise that there's an intention there.
yeah, so I just think a little bit more about your passive. Like I love it as a strategy. I think it should absolutely, like a digital aspect of your business, 100% needs to be there. Like we are in a digital age. AI is getting better and better, and it's got to start being incorporated. So think about it, but think strategically.
Don't rush in because you've seen something that looks cool and you can match.
It's not a case of just record some videos of you teaching loose lead and recall and whacking it on a vault and then selling it for a couple quid or 50 quid. Or like it's still not going to be huge.
Ain't going to cut it, is it?
And again, know your numbers. We say it all the time. If that's all you're planning on doing and you're going to supplement it with some in-person stuff, well, how much supplementary stuff are you going to have to do if you're selling it at £10? And how much work are you going to be putting into selling it at £10? these are the facts. It's
Yeah.
not sexy. It doesn't sound great.
No, but we're here to
But
give it your
it's the
raw and
facts.
real. Like, I
Yeah.
hope you appreciate us giving you this information, how we do it, and we only do it because we love you.
Yeah. And we do it. We're like, we are implementing all this stuff as well. We've got elements of passivity in our business.
Is passivity a
I
word?
don't know, but I'm
I think
sticking
you've
with it.
made that. Is it, Ryan, is it a word?
No.
He's shaking his head. You said it earlier and I let it go. And I'm like, I'm not sure this is actually a word. Yeah.
I like my little nuance.
Can you see what I have to put up with, everyone? Please
It's Jonas.
feel my pain. On that note, should we say goodbye?
Yeah. Toodaloo.